If you've ever watched a press conference, which let's be honest, none of us have, but if you've ever watched clips of a press conference, you may notice that the people speaking have multiple microphones that they're speaking into. Now this can seem unnecessary, seeing as how one microphone can get the job done perfectly fine by itself, but seeing as how these are important events, there has to be some reason for why there are multiple microphones. It's not like having more microphones makes you any better than this gorgeous man, for instance, but it still must be asked, why do press conferences have multiple microphones? This is the Imponderable, where we answer the questions you've never asked. So if you think about it for a good amount of time, you can probably figure out why there are instances where press conferences will have two microphones in front of a person. In an instance where one microphone malfunctions, it's always beneficial to have that spare right then and there so you don't have to stop the press conference to fix it. After all, important things are discussed at these press conferences, and we couldn't deal with any kind of interruption in the middle of it. Could you imagine if Joe Biden's mic cut out while he was in the middle of telling us what his recent favorite flavor of ice cream was? I don't know about you, but I would be panicking. I guess I should also talk about the times where multiple news stations have their own microphones set up at the stand, seeing as how the visual of a speaker talking into multiple microphones tends to get memed a lot on the internet. For some reason, people take issue with an array of black cylindrical objects next to someone's mouth. This is a pretty simple explanation as well, as it can be a real burden for the news stations to get recordings from each other. And besides, why get a recording from someone else when you could easily get a recording yourself where you can freely edit and manipulate it, and they'll be able to make you think what they want you to think, you mindless puppet. Sorry. You also have to consider that the audio technicians that work for these news stations are probably well versed with their own audio recording equipment, and the last thing they really want to deal with is some nasty hoe who doesn't take care of their equipment as well as them, and probably has a bunch of audio issues that they can't fix. So with all that being said, why do press conferences have multiple mics? Because sex has infused itself so far into our society that even press conferences have to look like bukkakis.